My name's Annette Ulph and I studied Bachelor of Nursing. I've always wanted to be a sister, originally when I was a child, that's what they used to call them. And when I actually left school, I was encouraged then by my husband to actually do nursing, which I did. I went and did studied nursing through the hospital system in TAFE, and my best friend at the time then convinced me to go to CSU and do my Bachelor of Nursing. When I first started, it did feel right. It was very exciting. I was actually starting to do something that I've always wanted to do as a child. Really wasn't encouraged to do it as a child, but it felt good. There were times where I failed. My very first fail was the science. Any nursing subjects I did very well in because I was already nursing. I've been nursing for years, so it was just second nature to me. It was the science and the way I think that they associated the science with nursing was completely different to what I was experiencing on the ward. So, and just getting your head around the science bit. So yeah, and that was a challenge. When I first joined university, as I said, in 2001, I was one of the first lot doing the distant ed program, not the originals, but a couple of years down from doing the distant ed students for nursing, and they were still putting out feelers on how they were going to run the course. So it was really, you felt like that you were completely distant away from everybody else, that you were on your own because you didn't have that association with going internal and sitting down in a classroom and being at lectures all the time. So you soon learnt what to expect and what not to expect and how to get help if you needed help. And in the end, like as I said, I went to uni with a friend, from another nurse from work, and we would work together to actually get through. Most challenging thing? Believing in myself. I was always told that I couldn't do it as a child, so I was out to prove that I could do it. And I did originally drop out after I did complete the very first year, and the girl that my best friend who actually convinced me to go to university passed away, and I wasn't handling things too well at that particular time. And I pulled out of university and I didn't go back for 3 or 4 years actually. My husband at the time, he was supportive to an extent. Like he said, oh well, you had to go, that's okay, don't worry about it. But then by not going back and completing it, I knew deep down that if I didn't complete it, I was just failing. And I had a busy family life. I had 2 children that when I started that were still going to school. I had both my children. My son had started his HSC and I had a daughter that was going to start hers in a couple of years, and then I had a disabled husband who I was also caring for, and I was also doing volunteer work. So on top of that, like I was very heavily into volunteer work and work full time. So I had a very, very busy life. So now I was about to shove in hours of study that I knew I needed to do into already a busy life. But I managed to do it. Like, and there were days where I didn't think that I could do it, but yeah, no, I did it. I managed it. I just juggled things around and managed it. I did it in the end for myself. I did it for my girlfriend that's no longer here. Yeah, so she was with me, especially when I walked over that stage, graduation day. She was with me.